Kostas, good to see you here.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. And let's start with something for people to get to know you and more about you and the project. What does AgainstMe stand for?
AgainstMe stands for the egoless expression, the fight of all of us, basically against ego and love, basically, but with leaving our ego outside of ourselves. Let's say, just more focus in more community and the fight of all of us against our egoistic voice. Let's say it this way. And it started when I was like 16, 17 years old, around 11 years ago. I was pretty sure I want to take this direction for myself. And after 11, 12 years, I'm still standing with this idea, I guess.
Yeah. Did you consider at the time other names, if you remember?
Actually, this project started as Against Us. We were two people, but just for one gig. And then, all this idea came to my mind. But back then, it was not because of the ego thing. It just, we liked the word against and we're two people. But then I thought about it. I was reading some books back then, and it came organically, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I was playing different music when I was a kid, and I had different alter ego. But let's not mention more about this.
Chapter closed.
Chapter closed.
Yeah.
But proud of everything I've done. Also, I'm from Lesbos, a small island in Greece. I didn't have much, such a scene or something. It was all exploring through the internet, and later on I found out about techno and the rave culture and everything when I was around 16 years old. But since 12 years old, I knew that I wanted to do music, produce, and DJ as well.
Mm-hmm. So it was already electronic music at that time?
Yeah, it was electronic music, more EDM, let's say. But EDM in the island was underground, let's say. Yeah. I was 12 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember what made you think for the first time, I want to be a DJ?
Yeah, it was the first high school party in a club. I went inside, and after that time, I was thinking that the DJ basically does live remixing or something, because I was listening some songs that I was listening in the radio, played by that, but different versions, like, I don't know, different remixes. And I thought that the DJ is actually remixing the songs at the moment. And since the very first moment, I was only cared to decode or understand what the DJ does. So it was like directly, I fell in love since the first moment that I got into the club with art of DJing, and later on with making music as well. But I started almost the same moment,
producing and DJing.
Yeah, so at 12 years old, I went to my first club and party, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it took me like 2-3 years that I was also having some friends in school that they were doing a full studio and stuff. We were talking about it, and it took me 2-3 years. But when I was 15, I played to the first school party, pre-recorded set.
So you're just there,
yeah, I was just there. So funny. But there were around 500-600 people.
Yeah.
And later on, actually went to a festival. It was happening in the island called Beat Street Festival, which was graffiti, hip hop, techno, drum and bass. the moment it was in a village, let's say, in the island, and the moment I was actually my mother was coming to take me and take me back to home, I met a DJ called MS-DOS who was doing drum and bass, and he asked me like, "Where were you?" Or he was actually he had the rooms we were renting. It was the host. Like, where were you? I was in the festival. Okay, blah blah. Who are you? This and that. And he's like, I had just bought like a small Newmark controller, 50 euros, and he was like, okay, you want to be a DJ? Okay, you need to start producing. And I'm like, what do you mean? Download Ableton. I'm sending you a torrent link. Bam. And then since then, my life changed. He's actually did send me.
Yeah.
I download Ableton. And yeah, I'm producing since then.
Crazy, no?
It was just one moment literally changed. I was leaving from the festival. It was over, and this guy just dropped this sentence, and
then you started
producing. Yes, in the beginning I was just doing mashups. I was not even like feeling comfortable or something to actually make something.
Yeah. Are you still in touch with MS-DOS?
Yeah, I actually released. He has releases in label. He does liquid drum and bass. He released with LTJ Bukem, who is the absolute legend in liquid drum and bass. And yes, we are not that close anymore, but still.
Yeah. Wow. You've grateful so much.
Yeah. And I also got a little bit more into the drum and bass through him. Not that I was playing I was never playing drum and bass, but I really fell in love with a liquid sound, and also exploring a little bit the more underground side of music, because I told you I was more into the EDM sounds and stuff. And then, I went to some DJ sets of his, and I was like, okay, this makes actually a story. I don't necessarily wait for a drop or something, but 2 hours of flow. And it puts me in a mindset of more quality music, and
to research also your own sound.
Yeah, to research also. And later on I went to some raves, because we had a university in Greece, and some people who were doing like techno, rave, trance parties, psychedelic trance. And slowly I was like, okay, I want to shift my career to something more underground that makes sense. It was obvious after 1 year, 2 years I was playing this kind of music that doesn't make sense. I need something with culture that has a value, let's say.
And so when you started getting to raves at university, was already techno your interest?
I was in school. I was not in university, but it was university parties.
Yeah.
The music, I guess, was, techno, yes. It's a long time ago, but it was techno to psychedelic trance, let's say.
Okay.
Range. Yes, and different, like, I guess students and DJs from Athens maybe were coming to play. And then I also saw a little bit the tech house side, because there were some clubs bringing tech house DJs, like Kuloed the Song, or like also now the ones that play Afro House. Back then was a little bit more like tech housey. And I started getting more into the more monotonous sound, and more like building a storyline through a set, and not focusing into the hits, but more to create a vibe, let's say. And then I start playing and producing as well. But slowly I was shifting my sound already.
How long did it take for you to do a track that was releasable, that you felt, I'm happy with the production, I can release it?
Well, I released my first song after 1 hour on SoundCloud, but was not releasable, I would say. But I did my first release, I think, I don't know, 1 year after I started, 1.5. I don't even remember. Was first I did a remix for a mainstream hit in Greece with my old alter ego, and then I released a more like tech housey song in an Italian label of Tony Loreto was his name.
Oh, I don't know.
It was like house Italian DJ, quite big. I mean, not super big, but still quite good for what I was doing back then. And yes, then I started the project of Against Me when I realized that, okay, I'm done with all the more mainstream stuff. Around 16, I think I was. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you kind of reoriented toward techno. That is the techno you make now. The music you make now.
No, I mean, it took me some time to get to where I am now. But I mean, in the beginning, I was producing around 126, 130 BPM. It was slower back then. Also, there was not so much fast. Yeah. In the beginning, I like also like, the old drum code sound. Then I went more to melodic techno music, which is different from what is it now. And then I moved to Berlin 2019, and yeah.
And there was a big shift.
Big shift, yes, very big shift. I've already released like more melodic techno songs under Against Me back then, but yeah, then in 2019 I produced my first album here in Berlin, and I got so much inspiration and influence from the sound of Berlin. Was partying a lot and finding out what I like. I was always looking for something,
Yeah.
And I like to find out through experiencing. And yeah, I also didn't have like many people like giving me directions. I had like a musical teacher for some time, but yeah, I think I found out more about sound here by looking for it.
For sure. So Berlin and the environment definitely influence your way of making music, your style.
Yes. Actually, it was always when I graduated from school, I went to Athens. I moved to Athens to study business administration, and after 3-4 years, I did Erasmus studies to come to Berlin here. But always, my studies was like the ticket for exploring a new musical scene. I wanted to leave Lesbos because there was nothing for me there music-wise. And then I wanted to leave Athens because for me, at that moment, I wanted to see the rest of the world and find out more about it. And then through the guidance of my musical teacher, Michael Delta, he was like, you need to go to Berlin and find out what is sound is there. And then, boom.
You came here?
I came here. I only choose Berlin as Erasmus like destination. There was multiple cities, but like, no, Berlin.
Just Berlin.
Just Berlin. If they take me, they take me. But I don't want to go somewhere else. And yes, I'm happy. I got it. I came here 2019 before COVID. Stayed 6 months here. And yes, I think it was the best decision I've made for my music and myself, because I grew up through this. I went through different struggles and challenges. Moving is not the easiest thing.
For sure, to adapt to a new city.
Especially when I moved the second time, because my Erasmus was more like dream. Everything was perfect.
Yeah.
I was studying and I was just enjoying it. Everything so new to me. And then I came back, COVID. I came back to Athens to finish my university. COVID hit. Weird time period.
Absurd.
Yes. And then after 6 months, I decided to come back here. I was already with my girlfriend. She was here. And then that was my most challenging periods, moving and finding a job. And the house through COVID, 2020. Yes, 2020 September. Wow. It was hard. It was very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard.
Depressing as well. Things were shutting down. I actually came in September 2020. And
you as well?
Yeah.
That's sick.
And I was supposed to stay for 5 weeks. Now it's been 5 years.
Here we go again.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember like it was very super messy to be here. Even to go and visit houses, you had to do these long queues with the mask and fucking mess.
And if you remember, it was one of the hardest winters as well. There was like 1 month of minus 15, 20, snow. I've never experienced, all these years, I've never experienced Berlin that cold like this winter. We used to live in a room with my girlfriend paying around 900 euros in a room without Wi-Fi and without washing machine.
No.
So we were washing our clothes with our hands, working both online, doing 2 jobs. Well,
not the most glamorous.
Not at all. And also living with the owner of the house, who was not the best.
I can imagine.
And it's like paying 900 without washing machine, like, or Wi-Fi, like when both were working online, it was
in the same room.
In the same room, yes. It was the toughest, I think, period.
Yes. But then you came out of that, and then does Berlin right now still inspire you the same way?
It keeps inspiring me differently. Of course, I'm not the same person as 5-6 years ago. And also Berlin is not the same as 5-6 years ago. I think like the first 6 months that also the clubs were opened, because through COVID, it didn't make any difference wherever you were. It was just you inside the house. That's it. Yeah, the first 6 months were super mind-blowing. And then when the clubs opened again and everything started working again, it was really inspiring. I also visited for the first time Berghain back then, and yeah, it was like a new world. But now, yeah, I'm a bit used to it. Definitely, it's still the place to be for me. It's still inspiring.
Yeah,
I also don't see myself in another city at the moment. Like, I don't want to go back to Greece. Not because I don't like it, but I feel that I'm not done with this place yet, let's say.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
When you think about your music, where your music is now, do you feel you found your musical voice, your way to express really what you have inside at this point in your evolution?
If I found it already?
Yes, exactly.
I keep evolving all the time. I was always like following my inner voice, my inner like something that it guides me in a way. But this constantly changes and evolves, and yeah, I think I'm aligned with it, but it's something that is not static. It always evolves, changes. But always authentically. So I'm happy with it, and I think I will never like stop changing and stop evolving. But I'm on the same time aligned with what it is at the moment.
You mentioned that you follow something you have inside, and how does that compare to, for example, if you go out to a Berlin club and you hear music done in a certain way, does that inspire you? But do you ever think, oh, I should do something more like that? Do you have, what I'm asking is that, do you feel outside pressure to do music in a certain way?
No, I was always inspired by the sound itself, like the complexity of the sound design. And when I go out, I'm mostly like a person that likes synth sounds, modular sounds. Like from a track, I'm usually inspired more about the synth lines, not the low end and the kicks. And I mean, still very inspiring as well, but the sound itself, the sound design itself was the only thing that can shift my approach in music. If I listen a sound that is like, wow, what is this? This is something that could shift my approach in something. Like, but I don't feel like pressure to produce like someone else. I always get inspired from other artists, and I'm very happy to listen tracks that I'm like, wow, like I look for the inspiration, but I'm not feeling the pressure to do something like that at the moment.
You're inspired by inside, like what it comes natural to you.
Yes, yes, and I'm inspired through the authentic expression of other artists. Let's say
when you see someone that expresses themselves authentically, you feel inspired by that.
Yes. That's the driving force, I think, for me to bring something new. But also, this new thing could be inspired from other authentic stories. Let's say I'm not very into copying, or even if you try in the production to copy someone, I'm not good at it. So
yeah, you still have your own way to make it.
Yes.
You just recorded a masterclass from Sound where you showed your full production process, which we're talking about that now. And you talk about sound processing, you talk about the process of finishing a track. And you show also how you jam. What does it take for a producer to finish a track?
I think the most important for every producer is to focus and enjoy the process, not really to focus to finish the track. It takes time to be able to finish tracks, and that's absolutely normal, and you don't need to stress. I think I started making music. I can only talk about myself, but I started making music because I wanted to express myself through it, not because I wanted to finish a track. I wanted sound to be my voice. So if you work on it and let it guide you, one way or the other, you're gonna finish one track, and I think that's the most authentic way to do it. Lately, we just listen about a lot of people talking about techniques, ways to do low end, ways to do arrangement, ways to do like different, and that's all helpful, but we still need to focus there on something that it doesn't fit in a technique, it doesn't fit in a masterclass or anything. It's just like us enjoying what we do, and maybe that's what it can differentiate us from the rest. I was saying to a friend lately that my first album, I didn't use any sequencer. Now I use all the time, but that was a special part of it. Like I didn't know about sequencers in my first album, how they work. I had some digital sequencers. I had some hardware, but yeah, that was the different part of my art at this moment. Is okay. We don't need all of us to use the same techniques and ideas. Like, we need to embrace our own unknown, I would say.
Completely. It seems like you also found your process to do that. Again, when you're jamming, when you're playing with machines, and also like you're playing around with the music.
Mm-hmm.
Was this something that was always there for you from the moment you started, or something you got to at some point?
Yeah, you cannot start and know everything, obviously. So I spent all this like 12 years, a lot of hours in trying different things, producing tracks, different genre tracks, from breakbeats. My first record is emotional breakbeat, 2 tracks, and then to more melodic, to more raw, to harder, different kind of things. And then I found out through practicing and also buying a lot of gear, what I like, what is interesting for me. And also through the dance floor, I was always trying to find out how the sounds are made and like find the architecture behind it.
Mhm.
And that's how I kind of found my own sound, because I didn't try to copy or try to learn too many techniques or anything. I was trying to listen the sound and come back studio and create it, but without following any specific technique, because the dance floor doesn't show you the technique. You just have the sound. And you're trying to remember the sound and understand how this is made. So it took me time and still keeps evolving, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I'm in the moment that now I have my synths and my modular case, and I can say that whenever I sit in the studio, I can have the result. Not always the best track of mine, but the way that is structured at the moment, it really helps me to be efficient, to be fast. For me, it's important to be able to produce a track quickly and not spend 3 days of producing the same track. I lose all the interest. I need everything to be done in, the soonest as possible.
Can you tell me more? Like, why is that important? Because you just want the idea and the feeling of the moment to hit the best.
Yes, and because I'm getting tired. If I listen to the track of 1,000 times, then I'm not that hyped anymore.
You start hating it.
Yes, that's what happens to me when I release some tracks 1 year after. Like, I'm bored of these tracks. Sometimes it's like that. You play them for 1 year in your sets, or you listen to them, and then they are released. For many people are fresh, but for you, sometimes it's not that exciting anymore. But I also find it works differently. Sometimes you leave some tracks for a long time, and you go back and you're like, okay, this is actually super, still super nice, and it gives me a new understanding of the track and new perception after you leave it on the side for a bit.
How do you leave that in the studio? This is a huge challenge for every producer. Like, a singer producer, you end up hating your track if you listen to it for 20 hours in the studio. I finalized an EP this week, and I think I spent on 2 of the tracks, I spent probably 40 hours. I'm fucking hating these tracks now. And I love these tracks, but I hate listening to that.
Yes.
It just sounds so, doesn't sound fresh, doesn't give you any, it sounds, oh shit, there's a part of me that wants to change something still. And there's a part of me that says, oh, this track, I don't like it anymore. How do you navigate this challenge so that, for example, you make a track, how do you then say, okay, I will finalize it and send it out?
try to do it as soon as possible. Like I cannot spend 40 hours in a track. I will be mad.
Yeah. Don't.
Yes, like that's why I saw also in the masterclass a nice way to do quick arrangement and quickly to have like a product, like have a track, and not spend too much time in the arrangement and listening the loop again and again. It's important to do the execution for me fast. And yeah, I've also seen myself whenever I go back, I make a master myself. I send the demo label like wants it, blah blah. I go back to do the mixing, and every time I go back to remake it a little bit, fix some things, blah blah, it's not working very good. So it's important to not overdo it. Let's say, or stay in the raw feeling of the track when you made it, and it's excited. It made you excited. I would say.
Do you use external, let's say, feedback, friends or studio engineer that help you understand? Okay, this track is actually good, but maybe it needs some refining here and there.
I ask my friends, my best friends, that they are not producers, just like people that go to parties and yeah, they like. They also love to listen to the unreleased ones, so I get like 1-2 feedback also from my girlfriend, and also some close producers. But I'm not focusing too much in getting feedback. I would say, like, if my friends and my girlfriend likes it, I keep that. Yeah. I mean, yes, some technical stuff. Maybe I ask some producer friend if they think that this is too much, if like on the high end, if it is good enough for them or stuff. But it's not something I used to do it more in the past, but then it's misleading for me. I found out it's misleading. I prefer to keep what I think.
What makes it misleading? What do you think?
When you are the creator of something, you envision it somehow, and this vision you can only understand completely yourself, no one else, I believe. And it's the same if I give you feedback for your song. It might be helpful, sure, technical wise, but also maybe it's not what you want this track to be. So it could make you wonder or question your track in some ways. And yeah, try to believe in yourself and be brave enough to also do wrong decisions. Some tracks of mine I released, I'm not the most proud of. They have some issues, in my opinion. But at the same time, these tracks getting played from very big DJs, and I'm like, big inspirations of mine. I'm like, okay, this track actually no. And I see, I don't know, super huge DJ playing it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong, like, because I'm too involved in the process and something is not there, but it's only me who can hear it. It's a little bit mind-blowing and mind game that yourself plays. And also, if you get different opinions around, maybe you get even more in a mind game what is going on and what is need to be fixed. And yeah, I would say be brave enough to make the sound not good enough.
To go with what you feel.
Yes, and you're gonna learn through it. That's why I also didn't change my artist name when I was making different like kind of techno. I was like, no, this kind of techno, it's part of my journey. I don't want to just put it,
remove it.
hide it. No, it was me, 17 years old. Yeah, now I'm 27. Well, I cannot I'm not the same person. It's 10 years ago. But it was me. I'm proud of what I was back then.
It's a very good way to take it. And I think it's beneficial, especially in what you said of if you felt it in a certain way, that's the way you saw that kind of chapter of your life, or you saw that emotion, that's where it came out. And it's so interesting what you said about sometimes this track you didn't think it was going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Someone loves it and plays it, and you never know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have tracks that in your discography, released discography so far, that you thought they were not good, but someone really loved it?
Yeah, my best-selling track on Bandcamp is the one that I've never played.
Which one is it?
Is on HoS, Vibe With This in the compilation. Like, it's all the most of the compilation. It's the most selling track of mine ever. And one of my favorite labels ever, HoS as well. And I'm like, for real? Well, okay. I'm happy, but it was not my favorite track.
Yeah.
Let's say.
And
Maybe if some years pass by, I'll start liking it more.
we start like enjoying it. Bigger on you. Do you have the opposite? A track that you really loved, and then you sent it to labels, and people don't understand it?
Yeah, many. I always get surprised from the tracks that labels choose for the EPs. Most of the time I'm like, because I produce a lot, I send a lot, like a big list of tracks. Usually the tracks that getting chosen are not my favorite from the list, but okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You release on a lot of interesting labels. 47, HoS, Norbach, Malor, Tarhallo now lately. I think Planet Rhythm with Red Rooms as well. You did something.
No, Tarhallo with
yeah.
Red Rooms. And also Room Tracks. We had our first EP with Red Rooms there. And second, Tarhallo, which also one really good.
Tarhallo is the most recent one.
Yeah.
With Red Rooms, yeah. And for someone who is an emerging DJ and has the dream labels, what advice would you give for them to approach these labels and to potentially release on these labels?
To be patient, to work a lot in their sound. Most important thing is the sound. We need to, I think, focus there at the moment and like leave everything aside, social media, politics, blah, 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 and just focus in become the best in our craft, and be authentic, I would say, and send them demos. And if you have something I've seen from myself, not that I'm in have like the biggest career ever or anything, but through the experience I got, I realized that when you are authentic and your sound has a personal touch and story, then slower or faster you make something out of it. So just believe in themselves, work in their sound, love what they're doing, not focusing in the outcome but in the process. And then I guess there are gonna be people that they're gonna find you the one way or the other and give you the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How do you personally deal with rejection? If you send, let's say you're working on an EP, you really love the music, your own music, your friend, your girlfriend are telling you it's great music, so you're confident that this is valuable.
Yeah.
You send it to a label that you enjoy, and the label say, doesn't reply, but let's say they reply, they say, look, your music is shit. No, but they say, it's not for us, for example. How do you deal personally with the rejection?
I don't know if I had this I mean, probably I had it. Yeah, like all the EPs you said, it came kind of organically. For example, with the 47, who were in touch with Tommy because he played some tracks of mine. I sent him some not demos, even promos. Uh, then I asked him for an EP, for example, and he told me, no 909, no 808. And for me, all of my tracks have 808, 909. And I'm like, okay, in this thing, I don't know if I'm gonna release ever there. And then he asked me again to give you a promo for a set. And then he told me himself, we got this. Let's do an EP. So
Was with 909 on 808?
yes, all the tracks.
Does he know?
Yeah, of course, you know. He says it's the most classic techno EP he has on the label. But yeah, all of my most of my EPs kind of came out organically. The same with Norbak. That's a very interesting story. I he followed me on Instagram. I was already following him. He followed me back, and I wrote him a message like, Norbak, for me, also Tommy is two of my biggest inspirations. I love them both, and they're also amazing guys, and I'm super happy, proud. I can consider them as friends now. And I sent him a message like, you're a very big inspiration of mine. I would like to send you some. Actually, no, I don't know if I told him I would like to send you some tracks. I just tell him an appreciation message, and that he inspires me a lot. He didn't reply for me for 3 months or something. And then I was working in the pizza restaurant I work, and while I was in my shift, I was really done with everything there. I was super like tired, and like I need things to work out and this and that. I was freaking out, so I was just preparing while I was working a SoundCloud playlist that I'm gonna send to Arthur, and I put the tracks and I'm writing a message, and I'm like, when I freak out this way, I try to not make decisions for my music while I'm working in the restaurant, because it's not me. It's someone who tries to get out of the situation. So I didn't send a message. I went home. I always make music after my shift. So at night, I made music and I didn't send a message. I'm like, let's wait. I will not do it. And then next morning, he texts me himself. He's like, both of my labels are open. Just send me music. And I'm like, I have it. I was preparing yesterday to send it to you.
Crazy.
And I was like, okay, boom. I sent the music, and that's how it happened. So that's what I'm saying. Just believe in the process, trust the process, if it sometimes could be really tough. I also do like 2-3 jobs to survive in Berlin, and some days you are feeling shit, and you're like, I'm tired. I do this, I do that. I work 10 years on this. It doesn't work. After all these years, this year start also bringing some money to me to be able to survive through music. So just stay positive and keep doing it, I would say. But regarding your question, sorry, about how to deal with rejection, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe some people, maybe actually your music doesn't fit in a label. Maybe the owner of the label is not ready for what you're doing. It's maybe the label has a release for the next 3 years and it's not your moment at the moment. Maybe they don't even listen to your tracks, which has happened to me many times, that I sent something and no one listened to anything. well, and then you can see other people, they just have the connection and they do it. Boom. It's okay. It's part of the game, and we shouldn't forget that there is a business aspect to it. It's not just, it's not charity, and that we all here for the music and music. We see that many times music comes second, third, but still we need to focus in what we want to do, and we want to do music. And so if we prioritize music and focus on that, this is our path in a way.
What has been one of the most challenging moments of your musical career so far?
Most challenging moment, maybe when I quit of my marketing job, and I said to myself, okay, I will get again tour for 6 months, like what is the word in English, like
the social support, like,
yeah, social support,
from the German government. Yeah.
Yes, and then for 6 months I had some gigs, but well, I couldn't survive, and then I realized I need to start a job, and then I started as a dishwasher in a restaurant that I'm still working for 2 years, and that's a very challenging period for me because I do classes, I do work 2-3 times a week in a restaurant, and then I need to also work on music and travel, and which is the amazing part, but having like 2-3 different lives in a way, it can be really exhausting. And yeah, surviving, and especially facing personal difficulties, shit going on the scene, hustling and struggling. This is where also the agencies, one had issues with the previous agency I had, like, you're wondering if this is gonna work or not. And if you do it for 10 years, it's a lot. So yeah, I think through these 2 years, it's always a challenge to break even from the point.
That's how you also said before, patience.
Patience, it needs patience, yes. And it's very challenging. It's very challenging. And we see all the club scene struggles, the clubs, we see now a lot of festivals. There is not so many mid-range bookings. It's just either super big or very like just locals. It's a challenging period for all of us, and not just for DJs or producers, like for the whole world. It's super challenging, and there are even way bigger problems than AgainstMe playing in, I don't know,
a nice club in
a nice club in Berlin or in Georgia or in the UK. There are bigger problems. We still need to be thankful for what we have. And yeah, I think, we shouldn't take it too personal. It's a tough period for everyone.
Yes.
And we are quite okay.
Yeah. I think we are. Do you think that, for example, do you have a specific way to support yourself when you're having a shit day? You mentioned before you were working, you're in the pizzeria, you're super stressed. You still want to send music. What self-talk, what talk with yourself what do you say to yourself to keep yourself going and feeling, hey, calm down, you're here for the long term, be patient, in the moments where you feel everything sucks?
I'll go back and make music. I'm like, now this one is gonna get me there. Yes, like the worst times is when you go to studio and like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see the gray I have on. I don't have the mental capacity to turn on my modular. I'm tired. I don't want to listen to any 909, 808 anymore. This is the worst time, and that you just need to take a break and just like relax a little bit. And yeah, also like give space to whatever you have done for so long to grow and bring you, you have put the seeds, and it takes time to get the fruit out of it, I guess. So just be patient. I don't know what else you can do. Just love what you do, focus on the sound, be a nice person, and just
Enjoy.
enjoy the process, and think that you're not in the worst seat in this world. There are worse things happening around.
Yeah.
Your musical career is important, but also world suffers with way more important things at the moment. Wars around, crisis. We have also like I've kind of experienced war in a way when I was in Lesbos as a kid, because a lot of thousands of refugees from the war in Syria was coming, and they were just swimming or coming by boats. And every night I was seeing like hundreds, thousands of people arriving by the sea to ask for shelter, and this is like a problem. Or when the Ukraine war happened, I went to Rødhåd and I see thousands of immigrants coming, and this is problem.
Those are real problems.
This is the problems. Or else we can figure it out. So I'm not lucky, but I've seen that, so I can still balance myself when I feel that I'm in the worst state now. There is more important things.
You're still okay.
I'm still okay, and okay, if it doesn't happen, it's okay.
100% agree. Super important.
Yes, we need to ground ourselves when we think, when we get this panic attack of failure or stuff.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to be an artist for you?
Difficult question. Be authentic, be compromised about stuff, have the ethos of resistance also, and don't be against your ego and what you have learned so far from your family or from the society, everything. Try to envision a new world, like a future or futuristic human that is guided by love. For me, being an artist also to be aligned with love. And love, yes, and leave aside everything that is kind of recreate yourself how you like to do it. Leave aside whatever you learned and recreate what you want to be, in a way. And also, do it for artists. Also needs to do the thing for themselves to inspire the rest, I think. Like, to not make any kind of art to make happy the other person, to do it because you want to express yourself. And then I think people gonna vibe with this and be inspired. Don't try to copy, or be authentic.
Yeah, not to make something to please someone.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. In a world where social media is super important now, whether you want to use it or not, how does that negatively impact you as an artist? You mentioned before not listening to the world, not listening to everyone. How do you remove yourself from the negative impact of social media?
I don't know. I'm not good at it. I'm still trying to find my way out of this. It's social media at the moment. It just conquers us, dominates us so much.
Sucks so much life energy.
Yes, you get so much like the dopamine hits when you get likes, this, that, like when people comment, blah, blah, because it kind of directly gives you the validation you're looking for when you post something, when people like your music on Instagram, blah, blah, on SoundCloud. It really takes time, takes your time and your creative time, because you can see how many hours you spend on Instagram, and probably many of us spend a lot of time there. And the way that it's built now with reels and everything is just so addictive. It's the worst addiction.
Crazy addiction.
So you also see, if you are an artist, including me, every one of us posting the best, not the worst things happening to our life, so if you are at home and you don't have gigs, you produce all the time, your music is also good. Not like, it's not just you believing that your music is good, it's actually good. And then you're wondering, you see all the people playing and they don't have any production or this or that. And then you're like, what the fuck? And you get depressed, and but it's not just like that. I think it's just the 20% that it gets posted. There is a lot of struggle in the background that my advice is, don't believe what you see. Just like face it as a game in a way, like that. We play a game here. It's not exactly the reality.
It's a stage.
It's a level. I don't know. Everyone has a role on this. Posting, but it's more than, if you see it as a game and not as a reality, then I think you feel a little bit less
important.
Yes, it's not that important. If you think that what you see is actually what is happening, and you see that you are inside of your room crying, then your reality with this reality is super far away. But you said that the social media is the reality. It's not. It doesn't actually work like this. It's not the reality, I believe.
Yes, we should minimize the impact that this has on us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very good way to think about it.
Yes, I think it as part of the business at the moment. We all kind of need to play this game. If it's on us how good we want to be in this game, because it's literally like a game.
Yeah.
And I used to be a gamer playing Lineage, building a character. It's like building a character online, but this character is actually yourself. And the experience, the XP points you get is the followers, and you grow, and then you collect money from the gigs, I guess. But it's on you if you want to play this game, how many hours you want to play this game.
Yeah, you still need to eat, shit, go out for work, and take care of your health.
Exactly, and how much of your personality you want to align to this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a very interesting analogy and way to think about it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. If I don't think it like a game, then it's getting really important, and then it's a problem. And of course, like for me, even if it is a game, it needs to get played ethically, not like I don't know, buying followers or selling something else than.
Yes, then it's not authentic. Yeah.
Yes, so that's why I just post some like jumps and stuff. This is what I do without the camera. I just put the camera, I record the jump, I post it. I play the game, but also I would do it without recording it, you know.
Without the camera.
I don't put too much effort to, I don't know, think of ways that it's not me to get better in this game.
You wouldn't rent a studio that is a beautiful studio and be like, oh, look, I'm having this dream life on a jet, jamming on a jet.
I'm not able to rent a jet. Yes, no. At the moment, it's not something that it resonates with me.
Yeah.
I try to do whatever it resonates with me. Ideally, yes, let's leave Instagram aside, but who can do it? I don't know at the moment. We are all very dependent.
Zach, the user one, can do it.
Yeah, but
I don't know. They're already there.
They're already there.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, I mean, Zach posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
But not on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or yes. But they're already there.
Yeah. It's a different situation. I agree.
I can, just to be 100% honest, maybe there are people who can do it. And if they do it, I'm with them.
I want to find these people.
I want to find these people as well. They start from zero. I have no Instagram, nothing. They just release. And they have gigs. Maybe actually one who can do it is Prince of Denmark, or Trump Prince.
Mm-hmm.
You know him?
Yes, but also you can argue he was already there. Right?
But he didn't have Instagram, and we don't know who is he.
Yeah, I mean.
But he just released these albums, and boom.
Yeah.
But he's not looking for gigs, I guess. Also at the same time.
That's also another thing that, going back to your analogy, what game are you playing? Like, that's the other question is, if you're super happy to produce, you don't care about gigs. Maybe it's really possible to, someone finds you. If someone doesn't find you, it's okay.
Yes, if you have another job, or if you are rich, or if you don't care about how to make your living, and you don't focus at all in this side, then yeah, you don't need Instagram, you don't need Facebook. You just self-release till the moment that someone finds you. Eventually someone is gonna find you. And if you are like this, you can say no, and you still continue releasing yourself because you don't care. Or you can just produce and not upload it and be the best producer. Maybe the best producer out there, they don't upload their music. You never know.
I would love to find this producer.
Yes, I'm sure that people, a lot of people make music, they don't upload it. And many people that do wow music, and they feel that it's not good enough, and they don't upload it, or they don't send it as demos.
200%.
So yeah, it's always like on you and your goals. For me, it was clear that I don't want to do anything else to support myself from music. I don't do it for the money, but I would like to be able to sustain my life by my art. Simple as that. And I think it's very honest also.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is you. It's your decision, right? It is your direction. It's important you have it very clear.
Yes. I say again, if you are like multimillionaire, then you don't care. You can just do it. I'm not multimillionaire. I need to pay my rent.
Yeah.
So I need to have some gigs, or do classes, or work in a restaurant to do it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for the to cut, and just do it unethically or anything. I want to take the whole struggle of it.
Yes.
And if I make it, I make it. If not, it's fine.
Do you know what drives you in life?
Love and passion. Yes. Music also. Passion for music, love for music, love for people, and passion for people as well. Mostly music has dragged me, and love for my close people.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music especially. Mm-hmm. If you had hypothetical imaginary flag that is floating around, like on top of your head, wherever you go, and it's the first thing that people see when you enter a room, what does the flag say or show?
I don't like flags,
It
but
can be a balloon.
A balloon.
And not a flag like a country flag, but like a balloon. Let's say.
Yes. Egoless techno resistance.
Against all of us.
And love on top.
Love.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know. Love.
Amazing. And final question, sir. What is, can you sing aloud one of your latest tracks?
Well, I don't know which one. Maybe I cannot sing a track, but maybe I can do the sound of Blinded by Success, the track from Norberg EP that does ta-ta-ta-tan. But just this, like when the drop hits, ta-ta-ta-tan.
Bam. Did you ever get a funny, weird guest list requests?
Actually, now in Georgia, a guy texted me, "Hey, bro, please, I need a guest list." And I didn't reply. And then he sends me again, "Please, it's for my girlfriend." I gave it to him.
Yeah.
That one. It's okay. But he was sending me like, please give me my girlfriend. Well.
And you met this person in the end or no?
No.
So interesting.
I hope he had.
Yeah, I hope you had fun
with his girlfriend or without. I don't know.
Can you, if you were to choose one closing track for your set for the rest of your life, it's always the same track. What would that be?
Maybe a track that I haven't produced yet. Or, I don't know, I really like lately from Wasserman, W.I.R. Weir is called. I really like this for closing. Okay. It's a German
producer.
Yes, an old one, 2006, I don't know when it was.
I'm gonna check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's a cool run.
If you were to choose to play in front of 10,000 strangers, big stadium, versus 20 close friends in a house party.
I do the second every 2-3 months, I think.
After parties, or you do like a house party?
I'm not the biggest after party person, to be honest. But yeah, we have done this. We do this all the whole life. We do parties at home even during COVID or here in Berlin. It's a big pleasure always to play from friends and people.
Very cool.
But also, I've never played in front of 10,000 people.
So you don't know, maybe.
So I don't know. But I think still less. Yeah. As Kostas, for sure, 50 friends.
Yes, it's nicer.
Yeah,
you get more vibe.
Uh-huh.
What are things that you are very excited about for this coming months? This is gonna come out in a couple of months, but what are you most excited about in your life and projects?
I don't know if I should let other people know everything, but if this interview comes out
in March,
maybe they already know what is gonna maybe it's already out. So I wasn't planning to say much, but now maybe it doesn't matter if I say it or not. I have one EP in key vinyl.
Super cool.
And one with Setaoc, the label of Hadon and UFO 95, which I'm both very excited. I hope they come out and nothing changes till then. But let's see what is confirmed at the moment.
Fantastic. Very happy for you.
Thank you. I'm also very excited. Let's see.
Well done. And you're doing a lot of great stuff.
Thank you. I'm very excited about these 2 releases, let's say.
Congratulations. What's the question we should ask the next guest?
Are they happy with themselves?
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. And there is a question for you, which is, what brings you joy in life?
Music brings me a lot of joy. Producing music, being in the studio, having real relationships as well, interactions, and also exploring the unknown is something that brings me a lot of joy and gets me excited.
Very cool. Kostas, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here. It's great to get to know you a bit better.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed it. Hope you too.
Me too. Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.